I was thinking a couple of days ago how exploring monastic life is a lot like doing the Hokey Pokey. So you know what the Hokey Pokey is, right? You learned this in kindergarten, probably. The kids all stand in a circle and somebody's saying, put your right hand in, you take your right hand out, you put your right hand in, da, 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 shake it all about, do the Hokey Pokey, turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. So this came to mind because someone was talking to me about a conversation that they were maybe a part of on the day off, on the break day of the program. And people were talking about, how do I know? How do I know when I'm ready to ordain? How do I know when it's time to come to the Abbey? How do I make this decision? What are the things I need to know? How will I know? Well, the first thought was, Venerable Children said at the beginning of the course, this is not the place to make the decision. So that's not the purpose of the course. But for people who are having this question or will go home with the question, the answer is you'll know. And that's not exactly a koan, but the answer is you know. And so that's why it's analogous to doing the Hokey Pokey. So it's like this. So you put your right hand in, you think about it. Take your right hand out. You put your right hand in, kind of mess with it, you shake it all about. Do the Hokey Pokey, and then you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. So you got to do some Hokey Pokey in there. Now, in New Zealand, Hokey Pokey actually refers to ice cream. I don't mean that. And Hokey Pokey may or may not, essentially at the beginning when this was invented, may have referred to hocus pocus, but that comes to mind. Now, what we're doing is not hocus pocus. But from a secular point of view, we could be doing some hocus pocus. What? You sit on a cushion, you do these strenuous things, you bow to the Buddha, you're doing some hocus pocus here. From a secular point of view, it may look like hocus pocus. Because it's not seen, it's not visible, it's an internal process. So what is the hocus pocus that we need to do? It's not magic. But we need to sit on the cushion and think about some things. What are we thinking about? The thought, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I don't know if I should. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Believe me, I spent not months, years, trust me, I am an expert on this question, years. I can't tell you how many times I went to Venerable Children and said, okay, I'm not thinking about it anymore, I am not ordaining, that's it. At the time, I meant it. And eventually, I did enough hokey pokey. What do you have to think about? The 4 thoughts that turn the mind to the Dharma, for example. Not should I, shouldn't I, what will it take, how much money do I need to save, do I give up my stuff? What we do need to think about, though, is what is my life about? I have a precious opportunity right now. What are the qualities that I have, not everybody else, just me? What are the qualities, internal and external? What are the conditions, internal and external, that I have right now? And what do I want my life to be about? And we ask ourselves very seriously, is it about a career? Is it fame and fortune? Well, it might be. Do I have fame yet? No. How long have you been working on it? Well, do I have fortune? Is that going to last me? So we go to the next thought. We think about death and impermanence. How much time do I have? What is the meaning of my life? And if I do get this thing that I've been working at for however long, got an education for, put career time into, I achieve this, and then what? Where's the happiness of this? That's hocus pocus. You start thinking a little bit about what actually is the result of the things that I was taught are the causes of happiness. And we look at impermanence from the gross side. I'm going to die. When that happens, when the moment of death arrives, What will I looking back and think, oh, I was really proud I did that. I am so happy I made vice president of that company. I don't think that's what comes to people's minds. No. So we also need to think about what are the sufferings or the miseries of cyclic existence. Not just this little life. We got to look at the big term. What have I been doing since beginningless time? What's going to be happening for me like endlessly? And I have these conditions right this minute. Birth, aging, sickness, death. Birth, aging, sickness, death. Birth, aging, sickness, death. When am I going to get off this wheel? And then there's karma. What is karma about? What am I experiencing right now? What did I do to experience what I'm experiencing right now? And oh my goodness, what am I doing right now? And what am I going to experience in the future? Big picture. That's our hocus pocus. We look at the four truths too. We don't just get stuck there because we have to look at, is there dukkha? Yes, we've just determined that. Are there causes of dukkha? Well, the Buddha said so, and I can test my experience. Is it possible to eliminate these causes? Is it possible? That is the hocus pocus. We really have to work. And is there a pathway to do it? Well, where's my confidence in what I've been learning so far? Where's my confidence in how I've already turned my mind so far? That's the hocus pocus that we have to keep working with and turning around. So when we do that, when we spend this time doing this internal, quote, magic, we do start to turn ourselves around. We do start to see changes. And people, this takes time. It's not like you're sitting here, we're halfway through the program, and I don't see any changes. You've been here 2.5 months. You're not changed yet. It takes a long time. Why? Because practicing the Dharma is a full body experience. And being a monastic is a total full body, speech, mind experience. It's not about sitting in our head thinking, well, how would I look with a shaved head? I don't know about those clothes. They make you look really fat. I don't know about those kinds of things. It's not that. It is a lived moment by moment experience. And you know, you can't get that until you're living it. That's also my experience. You hear it. People tell you that. But when you're living it, you go, oh. After a few years, like, oh. Maybe after a decade, oh. And I'm sure after many more decades, there continue to be the ohs. This is a lived experience. It's not something you can sit on your cushion, sit on a table, analyze, weigh the pluses and minuses, and come up with a correct answer. It's not how it's done. So what we do, well, the other thing too about the time I want to say, we do transform our mind. And that has a little magical connotation. So we have to be careful. Transform does not mean like that. It takes time. The only way to really take the time to do it, to make the decision, is to live it. Whether you live it out there or whether you live it here. And the Abbey's laid out so you can put your right hand in, take your right hand out, and then go away for a while. You can put your left hand in, take your left hand out, and go away for a while. You can even put your whole leg in. Take your right leg out, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. There's plenty of time, and that's the way the process is built. And then there comes a day where you say, I am putting my whole self in. And you put your whole self in. And you turn yourself around. And that is what it's all about. It sounds very simplistic. It's not. And it sounds kind of simple, and it's totally not. But in a way, all the stuff, all the machinations, agitations that we do in our own minds is just fluff. Really, what we need to do is sit on our cushion, do our practice, and then decide. Maybe you decide that you want to be your full self in here or somewhere. Or maybe you decide, in this life, I'm going to put my right leg in and take my right leg out once in a while whenever I can, and that's how going to be my practice this life. That's also okay. But when you know, you know. And that's what it's all about.